Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. The draft is over. We have done our recap and grading of the Bengals draft. And if you missed that one, you're looking for a complete overview of what they did. You want to go back one episode. You're looking for episode 167. From this point forward, we're going to spend more time talking about the players because that was more about the process. That's grading the Bengals, which, there's a difference there. If you want to grade the players and talk about the players' chances of hitting, and I did touch on that and talk about that, of course. But when you grade a draft, some people are grading the process, the decisions to draft these people, the decisions to take that guy over that guy, the decisions to take these positions over those positions, whatever it may be. You're grading the team, not so much the player. So if you're a big fan of this player and you watch these and you say, oh, why didn't they like the pick? It may be a grade or a criticism of the team, not so much player. So now, because we did an episode on Shamar Stewart, let me know if you want more. If over the summer we need some content, we want to go back and watch a Shamar Stewart game, maybe whatever his best game was. And we watched one game that had 7 pressures. So if you want Shamar Stewart tape, type in my name, First Star, Shamar Stewart. Any one of those combinations should pull it up on YouTube, and we can find it that way. Or follow me on X, and I've retweeted it recently at Joe Goodberry. But we're going to move on. We're going to watch everyone else. The best games. We want to feel good about these prospects, right? They're Bengals now, stripes on, the 2-day all day. We're going to watch their best performances. And for me, Dimitrius Knight, his best was versus Alabama. So we will get some Dylan Fairchild and Barrett Carter and Jalen Rivers and Taj Brooks and the undrafted guys. Because I'm told Seth McLaughlin was a good prospect at center. That sounds great. Let's watch that and those prospects. But Dimitrius Knight today against Alabama, this one's a treat. I watched it earlier in the process when I first started looking at linebackers when the Pratt thing came up, and that was early before free agency. This might have been like early March. I remember it being really good. I remember specific plays, but now through the Bengals lens, it makes things different. It hits a little bit different when you watch these guys knowing they're on your team. And because this is a good one, let's jump in and let's have a good time. Demetrius Knight, number 17 here with the arrow on him, and I will stop it at times and draw and take our time. If you've never watched these breakdowns, maybe you're only interested in once they draft these guys. This is the show for you. So he sees the screen out to the right. So I want to see how fast is he reacting, how fast is he, with his agility, change of direction, closing speed, and then he doesn't get to the tackle, but everything can be evaluated. It looks like he talks a little shit right there, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think he does. I think Demetrius Knight might be a talker. That's cool with me. Inside run. He's going outside here, so I want to see, does he able to correct here? That might just be his position, though. I want to see what they did on one side. There's a lot of players. We've watched South Carolina quite a few times. Nicky Manwari, TJ Sanders, Kyle Kennard, and obviously Demetrius Knight. So what I was saying there originally is this run looks like it's going out this way, and you can see the cutback happens already. So as soon as this guy penetrates and causes a little bit of chaos, this run was originally going this way. You see the pullers coming that way, going to take him out. This guy's going to run right behind him and hit there. Knight's trying to scrape over and get there. Once this chaos happens here, the running back's going to cut back. So originally when I was like, oh, he's going outside. Yeah, it's not. I mean, he was going to where the run play was going. In this game, you got Tyler Booker at guard as well. So we might get some Knight versus Booker matchups, which is fun. He's covering the running back here. We just got a go route, looks like 989 potentially for the route combinations. But Knight has to cover the running back. You'll see him start creeping up. 17 right in the middle there. As the running back comes up, do I need to pass protect? Okay, can I stay with him on his hip? And the ball's already up. Nothing too crazy just yet. Looks like a 3-and-out for Alabama. Although they have 7 points on the board already, so I don't know what happened. All right, got to cover the running back again. Run out to the flats with him. Does a good job. As you see right here, the running back is directly behind. We're in a pistol. So he's just got to not get really outflanked too bad there. If he can stay within a yard and a half to 2 yards, quarterback's not going to immediately throw that. If he's got to check it down, you're right there for a tackle. You don't get to see him in man coverage too much, I feel like. I'm just showing what he's doing here as he's widening out this way because we've got 2 routes going that way. He's going to widen out, but then he's going to feel and start to come back inside because as the quarterback starts looking this way. You see how he gains depth? Because he doesn't know these guys could be going to the flats there and then hooking up right here, right? It could be the 2 receivers going that way. So he's trying to get into these windows. He doesn't know once his back's turned and his eyes go back inside. He doesn't know that they're coming back inside. But he's going to feel that, and he's going to see that the quarterback's looking the other way, and he'll start working his way back towards it. And the tight end is catching the pass on the other side. So nothing for him to do too much yet. He's playing his position. He's doing his job. He's taking those reads away because you see the quarterback's looking that way initially. Watch the quarterback look towards Knight. Okay. So he does a good job getting in the window, and he comes back to the other tight end. Good blocking tight end there. Did he get drafted? We had quite a few guys to watch here. None of them that went to the Bengals, though. Defensive line winning again for South Carolina up front. Not so much defensive line, linebackers is as well. But as Knight comes across, taking on this left tackle, it looks like, just trying to get inside leverage. If there wasn't so much chaos winning on this way, the running back's idea is he was going to bounce right here. And Knight might have been in a bad situation there. But watch it again. And watch him get underneath and at least maintain that inside leverage and in upfield shoulder. So if he was right here, that might be a problem, but he got up front and got underneath him. Just a slight difference there, leaving him face-to-face with the running back. Alabama's tackle is like a top 10 pick next year, right? That left tackle. Just zone coverage, middle of the field. Not going to hang out too long for that. Nothing to do there. Quarterback looking the other way the entire way. No one really trying to move him from his spot. We must be in the second quarter now. He's blitzing and really takes a nice shot at the center here. And then they get into a little bit of a scuffle. So if you didn't see where he was real fast, I'm going to go back a little bit. Right in the middle of the defense when this flips to the right. And he's going to blitz. Center snaps up, eyes up on him. He's just going to try and go underneath him. And now they're going to get a little wrestling match. It's a good block. It's a good pickup by the center. Knight's going to end up with Booker on him, left side here, as I'm going to get it right before the snap so I can circle him. You see the dip inside by this defensive tackle here. It's going to get Booker to be off balance. And then as Knight comes across to go with the run, Booker's going to climb up and seal him off. Booker does a good job regathering himself, get a good posture, and keep Knight locked out. So here's another example of him taking on a block in the second level as the left tackle comes up. This left tackle is supposed to be a top 10 pick. I just saw a 2026 mock. He seems very passive so far. As Knight gets in, eyes are still in the backfield, right? You want to look past these guys. You don't want to get fixated on the guy in front of you. Keep your eyes on where the running back's going, understanding where he may go, and then use your length, which Knight does have for sure and uses, to lock this guy out just enough and then release, get into the hole. And he would have, but he ran into his own man. So I don't think we have Knight yet through 20 minutes of play with a tackle yet in this game. It gets better. Dealing with a lineman getting to him on a screen here. If you didn't see where he was in the middle of the field, lineman's going to get to him again, going to get on him, and stays pretty sticky on Knight. Knight's eyes are definitely locked inside here because we've got the run action going inside, and then he pulls it out and throws the tunnel screen. So that's the part of when you're looking past the lineman, excuse me, that can kind of get you messed up at times because you're so fixated. And there's Dimitrius Knight with his first impact play. That's right, he got a sack on this. He's coming up showing blitzing. So if you didn't see where he was because the arrow was kind of lost there, he's right here in this gap here between tackle and guard. Showing blitz. He's going to drop back into coverage. They showed blitz like crazy. They only really rushed 3 after, right? So that's what you do. Now you've sped up the process. You have 3 guys deep. You've got the rest of the guys right here. It looks like we have 1 guy in man coverage potentially. I wonder what he's going to fall off and do. But you create a wall here, and now the quarterback's like, oh, they're not blitzing. None of my hots are there. What do I do? So let's keep our eyes on Knight as he drops back, realizes there's no one else to this side of the field. I've got no one else responsibility-wise. There's no contain, right? If there was a D end here that was containing this quarterback in the pocket, he may hang out a little bit and flatten. But because there isn't, he is shooting and firing his gun, and he wants to stay to the outside hip. Not fire for this hip, because that's how the guy beats you around the outside. Aim for that outside hip towards the sideline to maintain your contain. And it's a nice tackle, nice pursuit. You see when he fires his gun there, he looks like an athlete. So again, to the left side here, just over top or inside of the tackle, fakes his blitz, drops out. And at this point, he realizes when the quarterback goes to run, you get into a running posture at quarterback. That's the food right there. That's the treat. Like, all right, well, I can go. Like I said, stay on the outside shoulder that whole time. And that was a 3rd down stop, I believe. Yeah. Knight's out covering the slot here. And we've got pressure up front and a win up front. Potentially a safety. Not much for Knight to do. You see him get good depth. You see his feet out there. That's about it. D-line is winning. Milroe's running out of the pocket for no reason. He's out of the pocket anyways. They shouldn't have called intentional grounding on that. Did they? Maybe. Knight's blitzing again from the outside. It's going to help get to the quarterback. I don't think he gets a half sack here. If he did, he would match the total of Shamar Stewart. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think he got half here at all. Milroe's going to – is he trying to? Yeah, he is. This is a QB draw. Dropping into coverage. Really reading that seam potential throw there. This will give us a better angle from the end zone side. As Knight's in the middle there, and we've got the slot guy running up the seam here. And Knight's going to really get depth here. And I wonder if Milroe was looking at him. So that's what I couldn't see from the side angle that I said I wanted to see here. Yeah, he's trying to. We got pressure inside. That might be TJ Sanders 91. It is. That's why I really like TJ Sanders as well. Oh, yeah, 91 is Sanders. If I remember correctly from watching the film while we're here, why he was 10th on our board. Watch him real quick. Man. As I was processing, I wanted to jump in here and remembered I said something. I messed up. That is not TJ Sanders. That is Tonka Hemingway, which is funny because the Bengals were really interested in him. He went 10 picks or so ahead of them before they took Jalen Rivers. They would have drafted Hemingway had he have been there, which 6-spin move. 90 is TJ Sanders. All right, we're losing the arrow a little bit. Knight's in the middle of the field there. Gaining depth again. We've got a crossing route between them. That's going to be picked off by another player. Knight's going to try and get a block here. Let's see. This is a terrible, terrible throw by Milroe. Wonder if he's under pressure again. He's really not dealing with it really well. No, he does a good job stepping to the right. I just don't know why he's choosing to do this. We got Knight right in the middle there, 17 to our left. And he's going to carry. See how he just looks real quick at the crosser. All right, do I got to carry him? Is there anyone else holding me there? So he slides with him. The other guy from the other side jumps up and squeezes him. If anything, that receiver and quarterback sit down between them in the zone and expect the ball to be more in between those two defenders. That didn't happen. It may not be even in their offense. We don't know. So again, decision making here for Knight. What happens? Is this guy not down? We got two guys hooking up in the middle of the field. Knight in the middle there, 17. Watches 2. We got the tight end that hooks. And you got 7 here that hooks. So they're going to hook here. They're going to hook here. With this guy playing this position, I'd like Knight to take a step this way, but Milrose completely looking left all the way. Let's see how Knight reacts from this the next couple steps. Yeah, he waits because 81's wide open. Milrose goes left. Nice pluck. Low ball. And I don't know that he was down. I saw that knee. Yeah, I do not know. We'll see on the next play here. No, I don't think I think they might have called him down. Again, 74 climbing up, the left tackle from Alabama to go get Knight, as Knight's on the left side here. 74 doesn't look like he's playing with a lot of aggressiveness. Knight is not being blocked by him, flowing with the play, helping finish that tackle. So 57 gets to him here. He's very focused. It's one of the things I saw. Again, that's why I pointed out him being so focused in the backfield. Sometimes he lets these guys get on him for a little bit too long. I don't think it's always an issue with him, but maybe, just 1 year of high-end production at linebacker, maybe why he sometimes is dealing with this a little bit more. Like you can't end up 10 yards down the field, right? You got to make that guy miss, either take it to him or avoid him completely. He's so much better, I think, when he's going downhill, when you can get Dimitrius Knight downhill. Blitz situation here. Nice throw and catch over the middle. And that's Eamon Warrior in coverage as well. Knight to our left. He's kind of just trying to box in that quarterback, I think. Good throw. Bang. Good throw, Jalen Milroe. Multiple misdirections. Multiple. Really good tackle by the corner. Watch how much Demetrius Knight's head is going left, right, left, right. Okay, so we're going that way. No, we coming back this way. Nope. Did he get the ball? Nope. All right, let me go back. It's a screen. And he doesn't get blocked that time. That's Booker in space there. Booker can't redirect and turn around and get a hand on Demetrius Knight. Good play by the corner. All right, blitz an opportunity. Gets a pressure there and potential pick. Doesn't get intercepted. Let's watch Knight on the blitz here. I think he's a good blitzer. It even gets a little delayed blitz, but because he's checking the running back first. And once he does put that foot in the ground, I think he looks so fast when he's running straight. At least gets in the quarterback's face a little bit there. And might be considered a pressure because the quarterback had to throw it or else he was taking that sack. Underneath now. Okay, good job. So again, he's gaining depth here. He's got to look left. Is anyone coming? No. Right. Is anyone coming? No. Okay. I can't keep drifting back too much. We've got a middle of the field defender. Let me come down on the check down here. And you'll see right as Milroe throws, he is. So he would have been on him. So I think we've seen quite a few times now in zone coverage where he's not being picked on. I think because he is in the right spot. He understands how they're trying to attack him, what he needs to do, where the windows potentially are. Now we're fourth quarter. Milroe's keeping it. He's got to play the backside here. So Knight 17 right in the middle there. Now that we're flipping the screen around. He's got the outside. And once we've got pretty much this defender, unblocked defender, taking the running back, this defender getting the tight end coming all the way across, Milrow, if he goes all the way around, you might get Knight unsuspected that this receiver's coming, but Knight's going to keep gaining ground and cover this gap here because I assume we'd have this guy here. So Milrow ends up wanting to take it right at Knight here. Knight doing his job, staying right where he's supposed to be, and he does take the fight to him. He does take the he sees right at the last second that the blocker is stalking up on him there as he looks like, okay, do I have outside? Bang. Luckily, that boundary guy there, 24, gets right around the tight end and makes a tackle. I was going to say, I love this route combo. Where did 3 come from? I really like this. So you got this guy underneath. He looked like he was going to block, and then he went like this. Let's go back all the way. But watch the tight end. Looked like he was going to block across. So to get everyone's eyes in action this way, and then they're bringing guys all the way across here as this number 2 receiver goes this way, and the 1 comes all the way across. You're hoping this guy will. I'm making a mess now. You're hoping this guy will come down this way. The safety comes down this way, and this guy can't run with your number 1 receiver. And if that's the case, wide open touchdown in the back of the end zone. Really watch what number 3 does here. Drifts back and picks it off. That's fantastic. I want to go back all the way though, because I want to show you what that tight end 80 does. I think it's a tight end, but number 80. Watch him come in motion. I'm thinking like you're running the ball. You're tossing it out here maybe because he's going to crack the D end. Does not happen. Pulls down 3 a little bit. 3 flipping his hips and going making a play on the ball. Yes. Yep. What a play. I'm just watching Knight. He's kind of flowing, spying the quarterback while also reading zone coverage. What a play. He's got to play outside there. That's why I think Al Golden called him a outside linebacker. You see a lot of that in his game, and a lot of responsibilities he had. So again, we're asking Knight to play middle zone here, little hook zones, spy the quarterback because his eyes are definitely on the quarterback. Like if that quarterback runs, I need it. So he immediately feels like, okay, this guy's going this way. I don't got to worry about it, right? We got enough defenders here, but I've got to worry about both guys here that are coming behind me here. And you're going to see him plant, get back into that window, then real fast plant and stop because this guy's coming across. So they want you to go this way so that we can have an open guy. Is that 45 or 85 coming that way? But Knight sees it again, and he's going to run with it. So he's taking out all of these options here for the quarterback. And it's not his fault. Someone's got to get home eventually on the defensive line. But you can see the headiness of him here, of what's going on. Okay, I realize this right here. Let me jump back in. A lot of chaos happening with the defense as guys are overrunning their spots. But he jumps down on 45. Nice throw and catch. I'd like to see them run here so I can see Knight because I did like other games where he was really effective versus the run. Then we got a touchdown Alabama. Watch Knight in the middle here as he's got to respect that outside run. He's got to respect the jet sweep. And then once it's time for him once he sees what's happening, I mean, the play is completely to the other side. There's nothing you can do there. (20-19) now, and Alabama's going for 2. Knight looks confused, actually. It's funny here. It looks like he's going to the flats to get the running back, but the 24 here stays with the running back. So Knight stops, which may have put him in the exact right position accidentally to be in this guy's window. Originally, when I watched this, I think I thought he knew what he was doing here, but it looks like now on rewatch, he was going to go to the flats with the running back, but he recognizes what's happening, like, oh, he's got him, and he stops right where Milrow would like to this right here. This is it's killing me. We run this in Madden all the time, right? If you played Madden, you run that all the time in the goal line. It's one of the popular plays. If you ask Madden, they give you, and I'm being an idiot not remembering the name, but yeah, Knight ends up right in that window. So Milrow takes the corner route, which isn't immediately open. So the game is 20-19 still. Alabama's going to run this ball or, ball control it to try and eat this clock as we're getting to the end of the fourth quarter, and Knight and the South Carolina defense is going to have to make a stop here. Short gain on the tight end screen. 2nd and 6. Again, we got 57 getting to him a little bit on the second level. See, because we can't have you going this way and the safety coming this way. Someone's got to, you'd much rather have one guy, a little bit more space here. Knight's not playing as forward and aggressive as I've seen in previous games and remembered in previous games. 57 doesn't end up getting his hands on him. He runs around him and backwards. Some coaches don't like that when you end up in that situation. You're voluntarily giving up space, and we're in a 3rd and 4 situation now, so we cannot have. They're going to try and get you to jump off sides, right? Nope. Okay. All right. We're going to eyes on Knight here as he makes the tackle. We've only got a few tackles in this game, and they are pulling, right? We're getting Tyler Booker out here. We're throwing the pitch out here. Keep an eye on Terrence Knight. Remember, it's 3rd and 4. I can't really see where the line of scrimmage there. So, again, he doesn't see a little bit of awareness issue here, I think. Again, inexperienced at linebacker. The tight end's going to easily catch him, right? You see what I'm saying? All right, now Knight's got to work through it. And once he does, he affects the tackle, right? They're kind of just holding up the running back at this point. Eamon Wari makes the initial hit, good low hit for a guy that's 6'3", 220, and then Knight comes and finishes it horizontally. They got to be right at it, right? That was a first down, okay. Under 3 minutes to go now. This time, here we go. There's a good run stop by Dimitrius Knight. He's watching the inside. We got someone in motion. Yes, we do. We got the jet motion coming across. He knows right here. We do this all the time. This is a very common run. The Bengals run this too. Everyone's going to down block this way, right? The tight end comes across, gets the unblocked end, and then the running back kind of presses this way, and then he's going to hit this hole. Knight's already reacting. Knight can already tell, and he's going to try and meet this running back right here. So we only had a handful of run plays really at him and in his direction. This is him processing real fast, making sure he doesn't get hit by this lineman, right? And then making a sound tackle for very, very little gain. This is a very good run defending play for Demetrius Knight. I don't know why it still says 1st and 10 unless the defense was holding or something happened. Running to the outside again here, and a very, very good play. So this is Knight, as a run defender, it's why the game has kind of been, not much going on. I'm talking about the processing and all the mental things going on here. Once Alabama started running the ball, Knight was super effective. You see that? You see how fast he's staying clean the entire way. When he goes forward, he looks so much more athletic. He's getting to the play here. He understands that I can't overrun, right? I can't go get right here. I also have to protect the backside here in case this running back or whoever it is, might be Milrow, cuts back. But by pacing it correctly, this guy doesn't have time to come back and get him. Booker could have came and got him while the lead blocker gets the corner. But either way, Knight sees it, fires his gun once he sees a gap, and a nice, solid thigh pad shot with his shoulder pads to make it 3rd and 10 now. So 2 stops at the line of scrimmage for Dimitrius Knight in back-to-back plays. And now Alabama needs a throw to get this, and they have a wide open player. This is not Knight's problem. It's a good play. I want you to watch Knight for real quick, though, because he's got some processing here to go as he drifts back and says, okay, what do we have here? I've got this guy, got potentially this guy. Let's see how they break and see what happens. And then he's going to, as basically we're trying to mix them up, right? We got 2 guys going. We got one guy this way, one guy this way, one guy this way. And meanwhile, we're going to send this guy that way. We're going to really mesh it and get some confusion. But Knight stays with his guy and ends up on his correct guy. It's just somewhere along the lines, someone there absolutely messed it up. No one's just with that guy at all. You see 22 as he comes across, pointing. 22 is in motion, pointing. You're supposed to get him. You're supposed to get him. You're supposed to get it. Yeah, who is? That's why you snap it while the guy's still in motion. Snapping the ball while they're in motion. We've talked about this beginning of last year, 2 years now. Been with First Star for a while now. The only other game I'd really suggest you watching of Demetrius Knight, if you can find it, it's not an all 22. I didn't have it. So the Alabama game is the best game, in my opinion, of the all 22 we have. We have Missouri and one other team. I can't remember now. But if you can find the Oklahoma game, it may be on YouTube or on ESPN's app. I think ESPN covered that one. He has a great, special teams are going for it play. He has a sack force fumble that's returned for a touchdown by Tonka Hemingway. And he's involved in a bunch. But in this game, you get one of his 2 sacks on the year, and you get 2 defensive stops out of his. He averages about 2.5 defensive stops a game. You may want to see more games where he's in coverage. On film, we don't have too many of those where he was picked on in coverage. At most, he's given up 1 or 2 catches a game. So there's not much there. I have watched now 6 games of Demetrius Knight, and I think this represents what he is, even if there's stretches there where he's not doing anything because he only really has a few tackles in this game. But I think you get an idea of what he is. He downhill and against the run, I think he is an athlete with great tackle radius. That length shows up. That closing speed shows up. I think his awareness in coverage is an asset. I think sometimes he can get very solely focused on the running back and not see blockers get up to him. Otherwise, I think he is a guy that I hope he has more upside because of only 1 year starting at a big program at linebacker, former quarterback, because there are still steps in his game I think he can make more of an impact and be more often getting to the ball carrier or to the quarterback or getting into right spots. I think he can affect the game more. To me, he looks like a solid starting linebacker in the NFL, and I gave him that score. I gave him a low-end second round, 77 originally. I gave Carson Schlesinger an 82. I gave Jod Campbell an 83, I think it was. So there was a gap there. And I thought Knight and the rest of these guys should be more 3rd round picks. If he wasn't there, I wasn't going to lose sleep over it. But at the same time, I do like what he has on tape. And I do think he is an upgrade over what we got from Germaine Pratt last year. And the next one would be Dylan Fairchild, the guy I think is the biggest boom or bust prospect they drafted. That might interest you a little bit. That'll be the next episode of Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics.
Bengals fans, tired of the same old post-game chatter? Want real insight beyond the scoreboard? Then you need Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry, presented by First Star Logistics. Joe Goodberry isn't just a fan, he's a die-hard Bengals football analyst. Every week, Joe dives deep into the Bengals game film, breaking down the plays that mattered, revealing hidden strategies, and uncovering the true impact of individual performances. Get ready for post-game analysis like you've never heard before, player evaluations that go beyond the stats, and the most in-depth Bengals draft coverage on the internet. Don't just watch the Bengals, understand the Bengals. Subscribe to Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry on the First Star Media Group's YouTube channel. Get smart, get obsessed, get Bengals on the Brain.